All right, we are recording. So thank you all so much for making this a priority night. Our team calls are always awesome. And tonight we have the triple diamond, Morgan McIntyre, with us tonight. She just went triple diamond, and she has just been killing the business. She is so her and her team are on fire, so I really wanted her to talk to all of us because I know we're a younger crowd, and so she really relates to all of us. I know I tell all of you guys, go follow Morgan. She has awesome posts. Just go follow her, take her posts. Okay. So I'll go ahead and get started. Just really quick, tell us your story, how you got started, how did you get started with It Works? What has your journey been like?
So I joined this business in October 2014. I was 20 years old and I joined, I'm originally from Mississippi, but I moved up to Michigan in May of that year. So just a couple months after I moved, I decided to do this business because I was starting school. I was going to college like 45 minutes away, commuting back and forth. I was going to be a sign language interpreter, and basically with that, you have to do like internships to like all year round for every year that you're in the program, because that's how you get your credits. That's how you learn. We don't just have like book homework. It's different. So there was just a lot of traveling and a lot of like driving around, and so I needed extra money for gas, and I didn't know anyone here. I had just moved, and I was working as a nanny at first, and then I ended up having to get a second job. So I didn't even have coworkers at first. I went to a super small church, and no one there was really my age, and it was just really hard to find friends. So I was like, okay, well, like I could do this business, but I have like every reason not to, kind of thing. And I originally found it because I was looking on Instagram one day while the kids were napping whenever I was a nanny, and I saw this girl posting stomach pictures, and these stomachs looked like really cool, like good, like after, like in the after pictures. And I was like, what is that? And a little backstory from like, you know, what I had been going through at that time. I was hospitalized for most of 2013 going into 2014. They had no idea what was wrong with me, and I was just super tired all the time. Like I couldn't, you know, stay awake for normal amounts of time, and just was losing a lot of weight without even trying, which now I'm like, dang it, like I wish I could still do that. But I was just really, really sick, and they had no idea why. And I was put on prescription heart medicine because I was diagnosed with POTS syndrome. And if y'all don't know what that is, y'all can go look it up. But anyway, so basically I was like feeling horrible. They told me that I would never be able to walk again, like as far as like going for a walk, like around the neighborhood, like I would never be able to do that. And they told me that when I was 20 years old. And I was like, are you serious? They were like just telling me how my life would literally never be the same, and I would never be able to, you know, like get over this, and that it's something that I could grow out of in my 40s. But until then, it was just going to be a really different way of life for me. And that was very sudden. So I was like, oh my gosh, like what the heck? So anyways, basically like when I saw those pictures, I was like, well, that could be something that could help me, since I can't really do a whole lot of exercise. I literally was not allowed to. And anyways, so I was like, okay, well, that's probably a scam. And then I saw him again, and I was like, okay, well, that's probably photoshopped. And then I saw him again, and I was like, hey, those probably do actually work, so I'm going to try those. So I reached out to the girl, and it was a girl who I didn't really even know. We weren't friends, but we were acquaintances through mutual friends. But I reached out to her, and I was like, what are those things? And it was the wraps, and she explained them to me, and I literally was living paycheck to paycheck, but I was just so not confident with who I was and what the way that I looked, that I decided to get the wraps anyway. So I became a loyal customer, got the wraps my first month, then the stretch mark cream, and then the hair, skin, and nails. And I was super skeptical of all of it, but they all worked. And, you know, I tried everything to get my hair to grow, and nothing would, and the hair, skin, and nails worked. So I was super excited about that. And it really kind of kick-started like a weight loss journey for me, made me start to feel a whole lot better just about myself, and really kind of pushed me to try things that the doctor said that I wouldn't be able to do again, because in anything in life, I'm like super, I don't know what the word is, but like if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it, but just to prove you wrong, not even if I want to, like just because you said that I couldn't. And so that's taken me pretty far in this business, but it also helped me to try to want to, you know, exercise and do those things. So Anyway, I started going to school, and I just joined for an extra $100 a month for gas money. So I was able to do that in my very first month. And then it was getting around to be Christmas time. And I was like, well, I really want to go see my family for Christmas, but I don't have money for a plane ticket. And I wasn't able to drive down there because it's Christmas in Michigan, snow. I don't do snow. So I wasn't comfortable doing that. And so I was like just praying for a way to be able to, afford a plane ticket. And those are like $350 if you can get a good deal. So I was able to sell wrap cash, and I did a party, and I sold enough wraps to be able to earn like part of it. And then the rest of it I just used with my commissions and like a fast start bonus, I think. So I was able to pay for my very first plane ticket down for Christmas. Like, since I had moved, I hadn't seen my family since then because I couldn't afford it. So the very first time I saw my family after I moved up here was paid for completely by It Works. And that was less than a month into this business, because I bought the plane ticket like a month before I left. So, anyway, so that was really cool. And that kind of opened my eyes to be like, you really could do something bigger with this than just $100 a month. Like, that's not going to be it for you. And so then I promoted to executive at the end of December. And I honestly didn't know that I promoted to executive. I was just completing the steps of success. And then they texted me, they being my upline, she was like, hey, you are one order away from going executive. I was like, what's executive? And she was like, what? I was like, I don't know what that means, but that sounds really cool. Like, what do I need to do? And she was like, well, you just need one more order. And so I was like, okay. So I signed up a little customer at Red Lobster on New Year's Eve. I remember this. And she was like, okay, well, here, like, you need to move your customer. I was like, what's moving a customer? She was like, just give me your login information. And I was like, okay. So then she texted me back. She was like, you're executive. And I was like, that's cool. And then I was like, okay, well, now I can do something bigger than this. And so I just kept completing my steps of success. So let that go to show you don't have to know everything. You don't need to know the compensation plan back and forth. And I am the furthest thing from a green. Like, if you take the color personality test, it's like red, blue, yellow, green, like non-existent. And so I didn't know anything about anything, but you don't have to. And it's cool if you do, but don't like waste so much time trying to learn everything, because you're going to learn the best as you work and as you do it. Like, you're going to learn best by just getting out there. So anyways, so I promoted to Ruby at the end of February and of 2015. And then I sat there for a year. And through that year, I was working really hard, but my team wasn't. And I just really struggled with wondering, like, am I supposed to be doing this? Like, why am I not further along than I am? And there were people who signed up just a couple months before me who were already diamond, and they went double diamond that summer. And I'm still sitting here as a Ruby. And I was like, what the heck? Like, this sucks. And in reality, looking back, I was making an extra $500 a month, but that's not actually true. I was making well above that because I always made above average pay in every rank that I've ever been in. But I was making, especially with fast start bonuses, like, I was making good money as a Ruby, and I was complaining about that when I joined this business for $100 a month. So don't get greedy with whatever your position you're in. Be thankful and be content, but don't be complacent. Like, always, shoot for the next rank, but don't sit there and be like, well, this isn't good enough for me. Like, I deserve more than that. No, like, you're going to get there, but you got to keep working for it. Don't think that it's going to be handed to you because you deserve it. Like, you've got to put the work in. And a lot of it was because, I was like, well, my team's not working. Well, a lot of it was because I was very selfish. Like, I was a selfish leader, and it may not have been obvious to my team, but looking back, like, I wasn't thinking about them. I was like, they were just a spot on my chart. And I was like, you're a 400 box. That's all I need you to be. Like, and I didn't tell them that, but that's what I was thinking in my head. And I was like, you're just a 400 box. That's about as hard as I'm going to work with you. I didn't look at everyone the same. I was like, hey, well, this is a 400 box. I'll talk to them not as much as this person over here in an executive box. And so that wasn't very fair, but I just sat at Ruby and really was like, what the heck am I doing? Like, maybe this is not for me, and I almost quit. But that's the year that they announced the cruise to Mexico. It's the very first cruise ever. And I was like, okay, well, that'd be really cool. I've never been to Mexico, never been on a cruise. I doubt I can do this. Well, let's do it anyways. Let's see. So I literally worked my tail off. I was working 2 jobs, working 65 hours a week and going to school full time to be an interpreter, which meant that you had to do internships. So that was a whole lot. And I don't know how I did that, honestly. But I remember staying up until like midnight every single night, and then like 1 o'clock in the morning. I remember, I'm in Eastern time, so it ended in Central time. So I was like up, super, super late. So I worked my tail off to get on that cruise, and I was one of the only Rubies on that cruise because a lot of people were a lot higher ranked than I was whenever we went. So I was like, okay, well, I can't quit the company that's taking me on this free cruise before I go on the cruise, because that would be super awkward. So I stayed in the business literally just because I earned the cruise, and I was like, well, it'd be awkward if I left. And didn't know that I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't even know if I'm supposed to do this. And went on the cruise and just got surrounded by like all these people. And that was my very first event that I ever went to besides an OTOM. And sorry, I keep hearing my dog doing stuff, and you never know what she's eating, so whatever, it'll be fine. Anyways, so it wasn't even like an event where I was like, okay, let's sit and hear from Mark Pentecost or Pam Souter, you know, like we weren't just sitting around like listening to people. But when you surround yourself with people in this business, like you realize that they're just like you. They're just like me. Like I was walking around next to all these, you know, presidential diamonds and ambassador diamonds, and I was like, oh my gosh, like they look just like me. Like they're not anything like crazy, you know, special. Like they're just people just like me, except they dress way nicer and they have Louis Vuittons. Like otherwise, we're the exact same. So if they can do this, I can do this. So I left that cruise so inspired. Like I went into it not even knowing if I was supposed to do this anymore, and left being like, I got this. And 2 months later, in February 2016, the same day I promoted to Emerald and Diamond, earned $22,000 in bonuses because they had the Emerald bonus and they doubled it, and they doubled the Diamond bonus. So I was able to quit both jobs that I was working. At that point, I wasn't going to school anymore, but I was working as a waitress, a bartender, and as an assistant manager at a retail store, making barely like any money at all. And I was able to quit my jobs whenever I promoted to Diamond. But then I stopped because I was like, okay, like the craziest thing that I could ever do is retire myself with this business. And I had done a lot of really cool things, even as a Ruby. You know, I told you I was making really good money as a Ruby, and I was able to pay for school in cash. I was able to buy another car that's safer in the snow. But I didn't really think anything like past, like, okay, I could retire myself. Like I didn't have student loan debt to pay off. So I was like, okay, well, I'm good. Like I'll just chill at Diamond. And I honestly never thought that I'd be able to go to double Diamond. I looked at that chart and I was like, well, Diamond is fine. This is good. We can just stick with this. Like I'll be okay with that. And just kind of didn't really do a whole lot the first couple of months. And then I was like, oh shoot, like I better, you know, start working hard again if I'm going to maintain this rank. And last year was a really big struggle for me, just as far as like learning how to like think of a new reason to be in this business. Like your why should change constantly, even if you've like hit like the craziest thing that you think you could ever do and you're like, okay, like I'm good here. No, because that's super, super selfish to think that way, because you have a whole team underneath you who is not good where they are. And if you stop working, you stop pouring into them. And so then they're stuck at Ruby because you aren't willing to help them, but they really need to go Diamond so that they can quit their job, so they can be at home with their kids. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't thinking about anybody but myself, saying like, okay, well, I'm good at Diamond, so I'm just going to chill. No, I should have been helping other people go Diamond and finding those people who did want to work with me, because there were people like that on my team and I just didn't really reach out to them a ton. You know, I wasn't a terrible leader, but I wasn't that good either. So anyways, I stopped thinking of a new why. I stopped dreaming, and I just sat at Diamond for a year. Again, I sat at Ruby for a year, sat at Diamond for a year. And then I finally went to conference for the very first time in February. And I think my eyes just really opened to a lot during conference. And I don't know what it was. I mean, because I've been to other events that were like smaller than that, but conference is just so different. And if y'all haven't been to conference, go to conference next year. If you don't have your green carpet ticket, get one. Like you seriously have to do these events because they're life changing. I would not be in this business if it wasn't for a networks event. And I'm so serious about that. Like, you think that they're not, you know, worth it, or you think that you don't have the money to go, like eat peanut butter crackers and stay on somebody's floor with a blanket. Like, I don't care what you have to do, get there, because something clicked for me at conference, and I left and I was like, oh my gosh, like we're doing this. Like I'm going double Diamond and I don't care. Like there's nothing that's going to stop me. And when he announced that, guys, like don't think like, oh, well, she was super close so she knew that she would be. No, I needed 9 distributors still to even be blocked in for double Diamond. And no one on my chart was at 400 except for someone in like a promoting position who didn't even really need to be at 400. So I was a long way off, but by the end of February, so this was like halfway through already. So in like 2 weeks, I had all the distributors that I needed, and everyone was at 400 except for like 7 or 8 people maybe. And we promoted like super easily in March. You know, I didn't really have to do like crazy stuff to promote in March. I was crazy, but anyway, it just happened really naturally because something happened in that time, and I don't know how to explain it, but I got it. And I was like, okay, like we're doing this. And then I looked at a triple diamond chart in March because I already knew that I was promoting to double. So I was like, okay, let's look at triple. And I literally laughed at the triple diamond chart. I was like, okay, yeah, right. And then somebody was like, well, like when you need to go triple diamond by to get this $50,000 bonus. And I was like, by the end of May. And then I laughed again, and they're like, you can do it. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I did it because I kept running. That was the difference between me going from double to triple in 2 months versus me going from ruby to diamond in a year and then diamond to double in a year. I kept dreaming bigger. I said, okay, when I go triple diamond, this is what I'm going to be able to do with that. I'm going to be able to pay off debt. I'm going to be able to, like, credit card debt. I'll be able to put a down payment on a house, you know, and like I was like really fighting for this why. And I looked at all these people in my downline and I said, this person wants to be diamond, this person, this person, this person, like all these people want to be a diamond. So I'm going to help them get there. And when you take the focus off of yourself and you say, you know, who can I help on my team and who can I help that's not on my team yet, you're going to have more fun with this business and you're going to really have a team that wants to work with you. So find those people wherever they are in your organization. Maybe they're not on your top line. Not a single diamond that just promoted with me was on my top line. I reached down and found them as an executive or a ruby, and I said, but they're the runners. And I pulled them up on my chart, and I said, okay, we're going to run with you. And it may have taken me a little bit longer, but it honestly didn't because they were working so hard. And I even said to myself, you know, if it takes this ruby longer to go diamond than this emerald would, I would rather work with this ruby because she wants it more, you know? So anyway, just I encourage y'all like to build strong. And if you can build strong and fast at the same time, do it. But if you can only build strong or fast, choose strong. Because then you're going to maintain your rank and then you don't have to worry about, you know, building a team that's going to crumble. So anyways, yeah, that was really long. Sorry, but hopefully.
No, you're fine. That's so amazing. So total, how much in bonuses have you gotten since you've started?
Well, my boyfriend's a distributor too, so counting his, 127,000.
Wow, that is amazing. That is absolutely insane. So I'll just show you guys like really what working and being consistent in this business and actually growing as a leader will allow you to do. So I know you said, so you stayed at Ruby for a year and then you stayed at Diamond for a year. When you're at Diamond for a year, and then I know you said you went to conference and, you know, light bulbs just struck. What got your business booming again? What really allowed you to pick yourself up off the ground to get going, to sign more people? Because I know so many people might feel like, well, I just can't get my business off the ground and moving again, or I can't get my business off the ground even now as a distributor or something like that. So what did you do to start getting your business booming?
That's a really good question. I think like at conference, I realized that every single person who was, you know, a diamond or above, they didn't get there by themselves. Like they did work for that, you know? And I do like so many team trainings, not like myself necessarily, but like I literally like anytime anyone posts a training, I'm like, I'm gonna watch that, you know, and I like listen to him while I work. So I know that Kay Souter, Pam Souter's daughter, was talking about charting, and that really was something that I was like, ooh, I am doing that so wrong. And she was talking about how you need to have layered leadership. You need to and I mean, I don't really want to go too deep into this because it's gonna be really long, but layered leadership, just like where your executive is taking care of their 2 people, your Ruby is taking care of their 2 people on their top line and the executive, you know, like where you have that layered leadership and you're not talking to every single 400 box on your team. Even if they're personally enrolled to you, they should be going to the person above them. And then if they really, really need you, they can come to you, but you should be talking to, let's say you're a double diamond. You should be talking to your diamond and your emerald. Rubies, you should be talking to your executive and the 2 people on your top line to help them to go ruby so that you can go emerald, you know, like you should be talking not to every single person on your team, even as like a ruby or an emerald, like where you may not have that huge of a team, you have to start that then. Because what I was doing was I was trying to like just take over my whole entire team and basically saying like, I don't know, like if I would like sign a distributor, like I would place them under someone, but not really tell that person that I placed a distributor under them, which was so dumb. And like saying this out loud, I'm like, y'all are going to think I'm an idiot. Y'all are going to be like, why is this girl talking to us right now and training us? But, so yeah, like I like wouldn't even tell the person that I moved them under there. And I would just be like, well, I signed them. So anyone that I sign, I'm just going to talk to them and I'm going to help every single person. I was killing myself. Like literally could not keep up with everyone, could not help everybody in the way that they needed me to. No one was becoming a leader because I wasn't giving them leadership like responsibilities. Like they couldn't grow as a leader. I was like, I was holding everyone back, including myself, so much by doing it that way. So if that's you, stop, please stop, because your business is going to change if you're like doing that right now and you don't do it anymore. So what I started doing was saying, okay, everyone, I'm going to introduce you to each other. So now I have everyone on their team knows each other, like they're like family. Like I'll be texting someone and they're like, yeah, I just got off the phone with so-and-so. They never knew each other before this business. And now they're best friends. They're like in the same diamond leg, but they're on totally like one's a ruby and one's a ruby over here, under the emerald. Like they're not making money off of each other, but they're best friends. So that's going to keep them in this business longer. That's going to keep them excited because I'm not the only person that they talk to. They know other people in this business, you know what I mean? And so then like you're asking people, hey, I have these distributors to move under you. Would you be willing to step up as a leader and, tag them in the post that I put on our team page? Would you be willing to reach out to them and ask them how they're doing? Would you be willing to help them with any questions that they have about signing up customers or distributors? And whenever they say no, then I say, perfect. Thank you so much for letting me know. Now I know that I should, work with someone else. And that's what I do. I don't build anyone without their permission, because if I do, they're not going to do it anyways, and then I'm just going to be stuck with that whole leg too. So then once they say yes, I move them under there and they take it over. And that doesn't mean that I'm just like, okay, bye, like, good luck. I mean, I still look at the big picture, but I'm not texting, 75 people a day. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, how can I help you? Hey, do you have your 4 customers? Hey, let's do this. Hey, send this message, That's really overwhelming. And so I wasn't getting anywhere. So whenever I had, delegated people to do different things, that really, really helped me. And I think that that's what's really different. It got everybody excited. It got everyone to just know more people. And it was a lot less overwhelming for everyone. People knew people knew what their charts looked like. People knew how much farther they had to go to get to a certain rank or whatever it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. That is really, really awesome. I love layered leadership because it makes life so much easier, and it really allows people to step up as a leader as well, like you said. So I know you utilize social media, like that is your strong suit. You're amazing at it, obviously. Are you mainly social media, or do you do parties as well?
I think it's super important to do a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. And I'll always tell my team this, find what you're good at and spend 90% of your time doing that. So if you're really, really good at social media, like someone like me, and I'm not saying like that, I don't know, that feels like it was super braggy. I'm not like saying that, but anyway, like if that's like
really good at social media.
It's literally just because I've learned it from other people. Like, I don't think I'm naturally like that, but anyway, I just try to be myself. Like, if you like want to be good at social media, be yourself, and people are going to be like, oh, like I connected that girl because of this. Like, she has the same personality as me, or she likes this and I do too. And so anyways, but whenever I could easily go on YouTube, find a video that Ashley Olive did about parties and be like, oh, but I should do parties. Then stop social media and do parties. And that's not my thing, like I do parties. That's not where I find all my customers and distributors from. What I'm doing now works. So I do not need to drastically change what I'm doing because I'm looking at everybody else and what they're doing. And that's literally going to kill your business if you start doing that, because you're going to be like, okay, well, what I'm doing is not good enough. Like, I should be doing this because so-and-so's doing this. Like, no, if what you're doing now is working, keep it the same and do 90% of that. But then also, go hand out blitz cards whenever you go get gas. Like, go into the place instead of paying at the pump. go inside and go to different gas stations and say, hey, like I want, whatever, however much amount on this pump. Thank you so much for helping me today. Here's a coupon for my products. And then just walk away or ask, wait, see if they have any questions. Hand them out to people whenever you're at, the store or whatever it is. Like, do that. Have parties, talk to people and reach out to them and ask them if they would want to do a spa night and have people try the products, get the wrap on people. That's so important. But yes, I do mostly do social media because that's what I'm good at. And so I don't want you to this would always tell my team. And there's one of my best friends in this business. She's always like, maybe I should start doing this. Maybe I should start doing it this way. And I'm like, what you are doing, you are a presidential diamond. What you are doing is working. So do not drastically change what you're doing because your business, I tried to do that. I tried to do everything when I became a diamond. I was like, well, I'm a leader now. I should be doing parties every week and I should be doing, this and that and this. That's not my thing, and I try really hard to do parties, but I am not from this area, so I don't have a lot of connections, and I've tried so hard to be like, hey, both of you people who I know and are good friends with and are not in the business yet, why don't you come over to my house and grab a couple of friends? And I just don't really hear back from them, or they say that they will, and we just never set a date, and so I've honestly given it the best shot that I have been able. I've given it a really good effort shot over here, but I just cannot get a party booked. So, that's still something that I'm working on, and I have a couple of ideas of how to do that. But yeah, it's mostly through social media, just word of mouth, talking to people, because I love to do that. I know it's really hard to believe, but I like talking to people, and I just like to make conversations with people. And so whenever I went to a Bible study, and every person sitting at my table by the end of those weeks were all loyal customers. And I didn't push anything on anyone. I literally would have my greens with me in the morning because it was a morning Bible study and I work from home. So 9:30 or 10 o'clock for a Bible study is really early. I was like, why am I out of the house right now? But anyway, so I'd always have my greens, and they were like, what are those? And I would just tell them. And, I wasn't super I don't know, out there hey, have you ever heard of that crazy rap thing? Have you ever tried it? It works? People aren't drawn to that. People are drawn to a friend first. And then, if they ask you questions, you can answer their questions and build a relationship with them. And you'll start getting customers that way a whole lot more easily, just by word of mouth and stuff like that. But yeah, it is mostly through social media. Not one.
So through social media,
1 second.
Oh, you're fine.
She was trying to get her bone out of her kennel, and she's being
so freaking cute, by the way. She's getting so big. Every time you post a picture, I'm like, oh my God, I just want to squeeze her. So you said you use Facebook and Instagram mainly. So what would you tell people? I know you said keep it natural and things like that, but what does your social media consist of daily, do you think? For other people here that might not follow you or have you on Facebook or Instagram.
So I definitely
have for social media. Sorry.
Wait, what did you say? What was the last thing?
Or just biggest tips for social media in general.
So always post about the products in the business every single day, and you may get sick of it and be like, oh my gosh, people are tired of hearing about this, but they're not. And people are watching you, and it doesn't matter if they're liking your post or commenting on it. You may say if you're interested in growing your hair out, comment below, and there's no comments, and you're like, delete, that's awkward. So no, don't delete that post, and just say comment below and be like, okay, I only have 3 spots left. And it isn't I don't know, you can just act like people are commenting and be like, okay, I'm answering all of your messages now. You can make it seem like so many people are contacting you because maybe they didn't comment on that post, but people are reaching out to you about the products, or you're, messaging people other ways about the business, and they're talking to you. So you can just comment back on that post and be like, okay, I'm getting on to all of your messages now. And so you can, just be excited. Don't lose your excitement about the products and about the business. And if you feel like you're already there and you're like, okay, well, I'm already not really excited about this business anymore. I've hit a dry spell, which I don't really believe in those. But, even whenever I was a ruby and a diamond, I wasn't in a dry spell. It was just me growing, But anyways, if you just feel like you're not excited anymore, you need to go try the products. You need to run your ADB auto shipment. You need to be using the products, because if you're not using the products, why in the heck would you be excited about them? You're not gonna be excited about something that you're not using. If you're using the hair, skin, and nails and you're getting amazing results and you're so excited, like, you're gonna be telling everybody about that. If you saw a sale at Target and you got this really cute purse there, you know, you're gonna go tell everybody about it because you're excited, because you're using it. Like, you're going there, you know? You have to be excited about the products and about the business. So think about the things that you started this business for. How many of those have you already accomplished? That's going to make you so excited about this business. There was a girl that came to me, and this is kind of like off topic a little bit, but I'm going to circle back to Instagram, and like, this applies to your question, I promise. So this girl on my team, she, you know, called me the other day and she was like, I just don't feel excited about this business. Like, I just can't, like, sign up loyal customers, and I can't sign up distributors. And first of all, if you're telling yourself that, then you're exactly right, because whatever you know, think about and like, whatever you think about and talk about, you bring about. So if you're saying that you can't sign those people, you are 100% right. You won't until you, like, change your mindset. So first of all, you are good at signing up loyal customers and distributors. So tell yourself that, even if you aren't signing them right now, tell yourself, like, there are so many people coming to me who want these products. I cannot even keep up with it. You know, there are so many people who want to join this business. Well, anyway, that's beside the point. But she was saying that she couldn't do that. And I was like, okay, well, when's the last time that you posted on social media about the business? She was like, well, it's been a couple weeks. I said, okay. Well, when is the last time that you did the 3-3 rule on Facebook or Instagram, which is 3 product posts, 3 business posts? And she was like, a couple months probably. I said, okay. How many, like, when's the last time that you sat down and just messaged 50 people before you got up and did anything else? And she was telling me that it had been a long time for all of those things. And I was like, okay, that is why you're not excited about this business. You're not doing anything. So if you're not working, you're not going to sign anyone. If you're not signing anyone, you're not going to be excited. If you're signing up customers every single day, do you think you're going to be excited about this business? Yeah. Okay, so now how do you sign up loyal customers? So the reason I get up every single day and do this business is because I know why I'm doing it. I'm not only doing it for myself anymore, I'm doing it for my team, because I know where my team wants to go. We talk so much about their goals. We made dream boards together. I've made a dream board at the very beginning of the year, and literally half of it's already scratched off. Isn't that so crazy? Like, I wanted to do all of those things by December 31st, and half of them are done before June even started. So anyways, I am ADD in high definition. 1 second. What was I talking about?
Girl, you were fine. You were telling a story about a girl, one of your distributors you were talking
yes.
to wasn't
yes.
doing anything. Yeah. And then
yes. Okay, so she was like, I'm just, like, not very excited. And I was like, well, what's your why? And she was like, well, it'd be really cool to, like, help my friends with their bills. I was like, okay, so you need to be more specific than that. Like, how much money do you need for that? And then she started talking about how she wanted to travel around the country. She wanted to buy, like, one of those tiny houses and take it around the country, which I think is so cool, and, like, travel around and stuff like that. She doesn't, you know, have, like, a family yet. And so anyways, I was like, well, that's really cool. Okay, cool. How much are tiny houses? She said about $30,000. I said, okay, then I want you right now to go and print out a picture of a tiny house, and I want you to tape it to your bedroom wall. And she was like, okay. I said, okay, now where is one, if you could go to 5 places right now, like anywhere in the world, where would you go? And she told me a couple of places, and Scotland was one of the places. I said, okay, now I want you to go look at plane tickets. And I want you to print out a picture of a plane ticket to Scotland. You're going to know exactly how much it is, and you're going to know exactly what rank you need to be to get that in one paycheck. And so I said, print it out and, like, tape it to your wall. And I said, now I want you to go buy a calendar. And I want you to go write in that calendar when you want to go to Scotland, and just pretend like and just write down, like, you know, like that little line that you do for this, like, amount of time, like, put vacation to Scotland. And you are going to look at that every single day until you go, because it's going to make it more real. You have to visualize it, because if your goals are like, it'd be cool to do this, like, and they're not concrete, you're not going to fight for them. You have to write them down. You have to see them every single day. So whatever it is, like, for me right now, like, I'm saving up to put a down payment on a house. And I have pictures of those houses saved on my phone. Like, I know exactly down to the kitchen, exactly what I want it to look like. And I want to build a house. You know, I want it to be on the lake. So I know what I'm going for. And that makes it so much more concrete. That's what I'm fighting for. You know, and I'm fighting to help my mom, you know, pay off her bills. And so anyways, when you do that, you're going to want to do these things that I'm about to tell you. So basically, with social media, you're going to be excited because you're thinking about all of those things that I just said. You're thinking about the things that you want to do, the things that you want to buy, the things you want to accomplish, places you want to go. And you're going to tell everybody that you're going to do those things. I don't care if you're a distributor or an ambassador diamond, you post the exact same way. Why you joined this business, what it's done for you so far, and what it will do for you and your family. And maybe you just joined yesterday. You're like, well, this business hasn't done anything for me yet. Okay, cool. Well, did you sell your wraps and your starter kit? If not, go out and do that and tell everyone, I just made an extra $100 in wrap cash whenever I went to the gas station, and it filled up my tank of gas and I don't have to worry about my cell phone bill. Little things like that are what I joined for. So don't think that anything is too small. You don't have to have bought a house, the house that Wraps built. You don't have to have that story yet to be successful with this business. And if you wait for a story like that, you never will get to that story because you're not going to post anything or talk to people about it until you get there, which means you'll never get there. Does that make sense? So you have to start now talking about your goals and just tell everyone, hey, I just joined this business, but I'm going to get a $10,000 diamond bonus. Who's coming with me? And get excited. Be personal. Don't post don't make posts that are like, I know y'all are looking for an extra income and I'm looking for people to join my team to earn an extra $500 a month. If anyone is interested, let me know. That is not personal at all. So instead, you should say something like, hey, I know you've been watching me and I know you're super skeptical, and I get it because I was too before I joined this business. I thought there was no way that it would work. But I joined this business because I had like a crazy, 2 minutes of faith, and I just joined this business, and I'm so glad that I did. It's the best thing that ever, happened to me. And I would love for you to join this business with me. So if you're interested, please comment below and I'd love to give you more information. It sounds like I'm talking to you and they're going to read that and be like, oh my gosh, she knows me. Like, she knows I've been watching her for this long. And they're going to be like, okay, like I get it. I'm ready now. And so make posts like that, act like you're talking to one person and just visualize one person. It doesn't have to be like a specific person, like their name. It can just be a specific type of person, like a college student or a mom or whatever. No, let's stop, baby. Like just a type of person, and write that status for them. So every single day I'm posting about the products, about the business, me using the products, not, ad pictures. I'm showing that I'm using the products. Even if you only have the greens you just started, you've never tried anything else, talk about the greens every single day. I have a girl that, she's not on my team, but I know a girl who every single morning she makes a post about, hey, I'm drinking my greens. Every single morning. Now she's the double diamond, I think. And she still does that, like even though she's used all the products now, she still posts about using her greens every morning. So do that. Talk about how you take your Confiance every day, whatever it is. And make sure that you're running your auto shipment so that you can talk about that. I follow people. I follow up with people every single day because the fortune's in the follow up. 99% of the people that you talk to are not going to sign up whenever you first talk to them. So that should, she's so funny. There's like a volleyball in this little thing and she's like flicking it like with her paw and it's like, anyway, she's going to pop a hole in it. It's whatever. But anyway, so like follow people, follow up with people. 99% of the people aren't going to talk to you, or not talk to you. 99% of the people that you talk to are not going to order on the spot or join your team on the spot. And when you get frustrated about that, think about how many times you talked to your enroller before you ever signed up. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing people like smile and they're like, oh. So don't get frustrated whenever you talk to someone for a year, because there are some people who I talked to for a year who, I talked to them last summer about the products. They ignored me, like ghosted me, they just like didn't respond. They were like not interested. They finally ordered the products. This specific girl ordered the products in February while I was sitting at conference, and she finally joined the business like a month later because she was so excited about the products and her results, and she went ruby last month. So, and she's going to go diamond this month. She's like bound and determined to get this $10,000 bonus, and I believe she'll do it, and so you don't know, like maybe somebody's just not ready, but when they do join, they're going to be a rock star. So just remember that, and if the fortune's in the follow-up, continue to do that every single day. Find a system that works for you to keep up with all that stuff. And I keep it super simple. I try to have fun with my business because I know the times that I'm so stressed out and like, oh my gosh, like I don't know about this, like this, that, like my mind is like in a billion places. Like today, honestly, like just being completely honest with you, like I was like stressing out. I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't even know. All this different stuff was like flooding my mind, and I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm not having fun. Like, I need to have fun again. So just think about, like, okay, like, how many people can I talk to today? Or, like, how many, people can I follow? Like, I don't know, like, just make it a game and, like, have fun with it, because you're changing people's lives. And that's all that we do. Our job isn't hard. This business is not hard. It's simple, but it's not super easy. You do have to do the work for it. But if you are willing to put in the work for it, it's super simple. So just don't overcomplicate it. Don't think that there's like this huge, I don't know, like secret that you have to do on social media to be successful. Talk to people. And you have to talk, like, you have to like meet more people to talk to more people. So follow people and message them.
Yes, that is so awesome. So I know you said a few things that you do daily, but what does your daily business routine look like? How many people do you message? I know you said you follow people. So what does your, I guess, daily routine look like?
I don't have one. And I know that like totally sucks, and you're like, dang it, like crap. But I
daily. I mean, like, you post, do you message, do you follow people? So how many people would you say you message roughly a day or a week or something like that?
I have no idea. And it's because like, I try not to be too hard on myself, because I know I work my tail off. Some of you may feel like you actually do have to count how many people you message, but I message enough people every day where I can go to bed and be like, okay, good job, Morgan. Like, I can pat myself on the back and say, like, you did good today. And if I don't feel like that, I'm going to stay up an extra hour and I'm going to message like however many more people, but I don't count how many people it is, because then it becomes super like, I don't know, like rigorous. And then I'm like, okay, well, I had a super busy day like today. Like I, did tons of stuff and got a lot accomplished, but I may not have messaged as many people today as I will tomorrow, but that's okay. Like I don't have to, message 150 people before I go to bed, or else I'm like mad at myself, because then I stop having fun. And for me, like, it's very easy for me to be like, okay, like I'm so red that if I said like I have to do this and this, like I would do it. Even if I had to kill myself to do it, I would do it. So I can't tell myself like a certain goal, because I'm just like super goal oriented already. Like I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. But if you're someone who's like, okay, well, I have to have like an actual goal set for myself, then do that. And if that becomes an easy goal for you, make it a little bit bigger. But for me, like I just say, okay, well, I'm going to try to message as many people as I can today. And maybe that's going to be more today than it will be tomorrow, because I know tomorrow I have appointments and I have, errands to run. So I'm going to cut myself some slack, and I'm not going to be too hard on myself. But, while I'm watching Netflix, I'm going to message people. While I'm in the car, in the drive-thru at Starbucks, I'm going to message people. While I'm, walking through the store, I'm going to message people. But while I'm at the cashier, I'm going to talk to them, and I'm going to say, hey, how's your day going? Like, I'm not going to be buried in my phone. I'm not going to be rude. I'm going to talk to them, and I'm going to hand them a Blitz card. Talk to people while you're out there. Like, pay attention to people while you're at the nail salon. Talk to the people who are doing your nails. Like, don't take this so seriously and be like, sorry, nail lady, I cannot talk to you right now. I'm messaging people on Instagram for my business. I've only hit 50 today. So, like, talk to those people. And, yeah, I don't know. Just, you have to find what works for you. And that's, like, the biggest thing in this business. And it may take you time to figure that out. But whatever that is, like, stick to that. So for me, it's, like, not having a certain amount of stuff.
Awesome. I love that. That is so important too, because that will also help you not be so like burnt out but still feel accomplished, So, how do you go about following masses of new people? I know everyone has a kind of different system of how they do it. So what is yours?
I usually go to like my current people that I'm following, and I'll go to their second picture and go follow their people who liked that second picture. And anytime I find a new profile to go follow people from, I usually go to the second picture, because if I go to the first picture, it's going to be the most recent. Maybe it doesn't have as many likes because it's not been up as long. And if I go to like the 10th picture, some of those people, may not even be active in Instagram anymore. So if I go to the second picture, I know they're active and I know that it's got more likes. So I'm going to go and follow those people. And then like, I'll click on someone who I saw that really stuck out with their profile picture, whether it was super bright or whether it was a girl or whether it was like, girl with a kid or whatever it was. And I was like, okay, like she looks like, super bright and friendly and nice. So I'll go to their profile and then I'll go to their second picture and then I'll follow until it blocks me. To get to people, like you're like, okay, well, I don't have any people that I'm really following. So to get that, to start that, you can look up boutiques in like a certain area that you really want to have distributors in. Like for me, I had like 4 states or 5 states a couple months ago that I didn't have anyone in. So I was like, okay, well, Maine is one of those. So I'm going to go and look up places in Maine, and I Googled it, and then I found like a really cool coffee shop or something, and I typed that into Instagram on the Explore tab, and I found that coffee shop, and you can see pictures of people who tagged that and like checked in at that place. So then you can go to a profile, and then you can go to their second picture and then go follow their people. So now I have a distributor from Maine, and she just went review last month. She's going to green carpet with me. We're like staying there for like an extra 3 days together. You know, it's all because I literally was like, well, I don't have anyone in Maine. I should go find somebody in Maine. And so it's just like, I don't know, like you can become like best friends with those people. Like you never have any idea. But so yeah, doing that, or going just to the Explore page, because it's not just like celebrities anymore. It's like people based on who you follow. So go to their profiles and find, you know, just scroll down until you find someone who sticks out to you and you're like, okay, like they look, you know, like my age, or they look like we have this in common and all that stuff. And I actually don't use hashtags at all, because if you go and hashtag twin mom, it's all a bunch of network marketers trying to get people's attention and go follow people. But really all they're doing is attracting other network marketers, because no actual twin moms really use the hashtag twin mom anymore, because it's all network marketers. So I don't really use hashtags. And I even try to do like a golden retriever hashtag, and like I don't know. I just don't like hashtags, but if that works for you, do that. So yeah, just kind of like go based off of like who I'm following and things like that.
That's awesome. All right. So one last question and we'll wrap things up. What are some of your favorite self-development books, or what do you do for self-development? Or do you do self-development?
Yes, that is super important. And Carrie Young said, like, your business will never grow further than your self-development. So if you're not doing any self-development right now, like your business isn't going to grow. And if you're wondering why it's not, are you doing self-development? Probably not. And if you are, and you're doing all the right things, sometimes it just takes time for you to grow. But anyways, most of the time it's because you're not doing it. So like at the very beginning of my business, it was just like going to YouTube videos, typing in little customers. It works. I mean, like, okay, well, I'm going to watch every video that I can about getting little customers, you know, while I'm driving to school, 45 minutes, you know, so on your way to work, listen to some YouTube videos, like stop listening to music for a month and just start listening to that. Then I started to listen to podcasts, or not podcasts too, I guess, but I meant audiobooks, or like Audible. One that's really good on there is Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. That's a good one. Right now I'm reading Chase the Lion, and it's so good. Like if y'all haven't read that book, go read it, because I'm super ADD, obviously, like y'all can tell just by this Zoom. So I'm not very good at reading. Like I don't really like to read because I get super distracted, but that is one that I could literally sit down and read and I don't want to put it down. So go read Chase the Lion. It changed a lot of the way that I was thinking. And then I don't know, like I just like listen to like random YouTube videos, and whether it's like Tony Robbins, who's not a network distributor, but he's in network marketing, or maybe not network marketing. I don't really know what he does, honestly, but he's like a motivational speaker. So billionaire, like he's really good to listen to. So just go like find leaders and it works, and go, you know, look at their videos, but don't try to be them. And that's like the biggest thing I was telling you earlier, because you know, you can look left and you can look right all day, but you're never like gonna grow your business unless you're looking forward. Because I was listening to all of these videos, but I knew what worked for me in the beginning, and I was like, this is what I'm going to be using, but this is a really good tip, so I'm going to take this, but I'm going to keep doing this the way that I'm doing it, you know. So don't like listen to these videos and try to change everything that you do every single time you hear a video. Like I didn't even know how to go executive, you know, like I wasn't trying to focus on everybody else. I was just completing my steps to success. So keep it super simple, but anything like that is really good stuff for personal development. And anytime your team does trainings, do those, because you know, your leader is not doing all of these Zooms for her benefit. She knows these things already. You know, and that's what I tell my team too. I'm like, I'm doing these to help you. Like I already know all these tips that I'm giving you. So I'm doing this to help you. So join the team Zooms, join the, you know, live video trainings or whatever y'all have on your team page, and yeah, so just anytime you can do personal development, do it.
Yes, that is so, so important. And especially just growing as a person, spiritually, mentally, whatever. It's so, so important. All right. I will just for 2 minutes, we will open the floor for anyone who has any questions. We'll have time for maybe like 1 or 2 questions because I want to respect everyone's time. I know it's been about an hour. So if you have any questions, you can either ask in the chat or unmute yourself. We'll wait for a second here. If no one has any questions, we'll just pray it out. And all right, anyone? This call was so awesome. Thank you so much, Morgan.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on here.
I have a question, Vicki.
Yeah. All right, Tiara.
So when she was when you were talking about, I guess, layered leadership and saying how you're personally enrolled, you used to, try to lead all of them. That is where I am. I'm actually charted for a triple diamond now. And I enroll a lot of distributors, and I literally try to keep in contact with every one of them because I felt as though it would be wrong to like pass them off to someone else if I personally enrolled them and not knowing if that person was able to give them the leadership they needed. So I guess, have you had a lot of pushback from that, or how do you feel about them saying that they're not getting the leadership that they feel they need?
Well, before I move anyone, I ask them. I send them a long message and I say, hey, our compensation plan allows us to move distributors, so like underneath one another. So I have chosen you to be a leader on my team and to be in a leadership position. I have a distributor, or sometimes I have 2 distributors that I can place under you, but I want to know if you're willing to step up into that leadership role or not. You can be completely honest with me. Like, it's okay if you say no. I want to know now versus later. And so I've honestly, the way that I word it, and I can send this to Victoria if you want it, but the way that I word it, it's super it's serious, but I don't make it to seem like you can't do this. I don't know, I want them to think that they can actually do this, but I really do tell them this is a really big deal. If you're going to say yes, you need to know what you're getting yourself into. And I've actually had people say I don't know, can I actually give you a couple of hours and just let me think about it? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then they came back and they were like, okay, I want to do this. And she went executive last month, this particular girl that did that. And she's going to go at least Ruby or Emerald this month. She's charted for Ruby already. Anyway, so she's actually a really good leader, but they're thinking about these things before. And I don't just choose anyone. Whenever I say I literally picked you, will you be the leader? It's because I handpicked them. It wasn't because that's the spot that I needed them in. It was because they literally are someone that I said, you are a leader, whether it's because they're a mass enroller or because they have leadership qualities and I know they can lead their team. Maybe they don't, maybe they just fill their steps of success every month and nothing more. They don't do it 3 or 4 times. That's okay. They don't have to be a leader. I just need to know that I can give them a team and know that they're going to take care of them and know that they can answer their questions. Then when I explain that to the new distributor, I say, hey, I'm just letting you know, I'm going to introduce you to a girl named Sarah. I just moved you under her. So she is actually just going to be an extra leader for you. So she's not in place of me. You're still on my team. You're just on her smaller team too. So she's going to be a leader there to help you as well, in addition to me, so that you can have an extra friend to help you. You can go to someone else if I'm ever not available, or if you have a question that you'd rather ask someone else. So I just wanted you to introduce you to. Is that okay? And they're like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. Who says no? I don't want to meet another friend. And so I just tell them I'm very adamant, this is not me throwing you on them. This is just another leader to help you also.
Thank you so much. Can you please send that to Vicki, the message that you sent out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I actually have another Zoom that I have to get on right now.
No, that's so awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. No problem. I appreciate you so much. All right, I will stop the recording.